Hey Siri, let's discuss the future of artificial intelligence. Advanced AI assistants in development could soon have that conversation, book a vacation, or even manage your social calendar. While this technology would be largely beneficial to our daily lives, researchers with DeepMind, a division of Google responsible for artificial intelligence research, say advanced AI assistants are likely to raise a number of profound ethical and societal questions for users of the technology, for developers, and for society more widely. For more, let's bring in CBS News reporter Erica Brown. Erica, I'm so glad you looked into this. When people think of artificial intelligence assistants, they think of Siri or Amazon's Alexa, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about something much more developed than that.
That's right, John. What we're talking about is technology that experts say is going to fundamentally change how we interact with AI, how we work, how we learn, and how we grow. And this technology is projected to far surpass the current capabilities of, as you mentioned, Alexa and Siri that we have access to right now. So what are we talking about? We're talking about technology that can operate as your sort of personal chief of staff, a daily task manager, or even an educational tutor or research assistant, a counselor, companion, or friend. And in this report by DeepMind, which is a subsidiary of Google, they raised some concerns about some of the ethical and societal implications of this technology. And one thing that's interesting about this report, John, is the methodology. This report, they say, is based on sort of ethical foresight because a lot of this technology simply doesn't exist yet or users don't have access to it yet. And so they're using ethical foresight to project some of the implications of this technology based on current trends, trajectories, and computer science.
Well, that term ethical foresight, when you used it in our story meeting, that fascinated me because AI is literally talking to us because I said the word Siri and now it won't be quiet. You see, it's already trying to butt in. Ethical foresight has fascinated me because AI is moving so fast that if you don't think through these things and that line between something we might use as a tool and something we might suddenly give ourselves up to when it becomes more powerful, you talk to an expert about how they do this ethical foresight.
That's right. So I spoke to Karen Panetta. She's the dean of the Graduate School of Engineering at Tufts University. She's also a fellow with the IEEE, which is an Electrical Engineering Association. And I asked her, how can developers kind of get ahead of some of the risks that this rapidly advancing assistant technology could pose? Here's what she said.
It all comes down to the data collection. You know, those of us that do research understand that we have to collect it ethically and responsibly, and that we have to try to include all the possible stakeholders and perspectives that we're going to expect this AI to use.
And so when you think of some of the possible dangers of this, what are they?
So 3 things stood out to me in this report, John. 1, misinformation. Now, misinformation through the prism of technology, that's not new. That's something that users and developers have been grappling with for years. But when we look at it through assistant technology tech, they're concerned that this could create a sort of ideological echo chamber for users. So as this tech learns more about the user, its preferences, its views, their ideological stances, they're in essence will feed you what they think you want to hear, which could be partial, biased information, and that can be really problematic if you're relying on this tech in an educational or research capacity. Another thing, the human assistance interaction stood out to me. This is really fascinating. So experts are projecting that this technology will become more and more human-like. So they'll be able to master natural language, human cues, kind of mimicking the way we're talking to one another right now. This could foster a trust between user and tech, and then the user may actually share private, sensitive information with this tech that could be misused or manipulated. And lastly, equity and access is another big issue. With all the good that this technology is projected to bring, it could further exacerbate some of the global disparities that already exist. So in order to take advantage of some of this technology, you need the infrastructure. So for communities and countries that don't have data centers or network connectivity, they may fall further and further behind, while others who have limitless access to this are going to get further and further ahead.
Erica Brown, it's fascinating. Thank you so much.